In the modern world, why do countries go to war? For ideology? To contain communism? To end dictatorships that make people suffer? No, wars do not begin with speeches. They begin with resources. Energy, water, territory, roots. What is happening in the world right now is not chaos. It is a rearrangement. It is a power realizing that it is losing ground. And when a power realizes that, it does not retreat gracefully. It advances with force. Since World War II, the United States has imposed two things on the world: the dollar and the American agenda of democracy, not out of altruism, but because a predictable order benefits those who rule. In return, the United States claimed to guarantee security, stability, and the rules of the game. Countries are very good at playing game theory. The United States cooperates when it suits them, competes when it needs to, punishes when someone steps out of line. But there is a point, the point at which game theory stops working, when the strongest realizes that even by playing rationally, it will no longer win in the long run. Set changes the game. When game theory no longer guarantees victory, the theory of war takes over. Game theory seeks balance. The theory of war seeks rupture. One maximizes gains, the other maximizes the opponent's losses. It stops being about winning more. It becomes about preventing the other from winning. The opposite of game theory is the theory of war, and that is what the United States is adopting now. And that is what we are going to live through from here on. What the United States wants is simple: power. An energy-dominant country does not depend on external suppliers, cannot be easily sanctioned, does not shut down its economy through embargoes. It chooses when to negotiate. It does not beg. This creates real military independence, especially when there is an intention, direct or indirect, to go to war. The United States has already made it clear that it has abandoned the logic of game theory. It has shifted to the logic of war, often through proxy wars. Looking at Venezuela requires abandoning moral discourse. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, but for decades that oil stayed underground. Accusing Nicolas Maduro of narco-trafficking, talking about democracy or regime change, is not the real reason behind the American move. The Venezuelan dictatorship has existed for decades. So has the dictatorship in Cuba. The difference is simple. Venezuela has oil, and the time has come to use it. Cuba does not fall because there is no interest in overthrowing it. It serves another purpose: to act as a permanent example for Latin America, a silent reminder of what happens to those who choose to leave the American orbit. This is not about democracy. It is not about dictatorship. It is about resources, power, and control. It always has been. The same pattern appears in Iran. Sanctions, instability, pressure. All of this undermines Iran's ability to export oil to China. The United States will continue to pressure two types of countries: those that benefit China and those that have something it wants. And here comes the next strategic asset: rare earths. Rare earths are not a technological detail. They are power infrastructure. Without rare earths, there is no chip, battery, turbine, modern missile, radar, or operational artificial intelligence. Today, China dominates rare earths. It extracts, it processes, it controls the supply chain. This dependency cannot be broken by playing game theory. That is why Denmark should be genuinely concerned when the United States talks about Greenland. Greenland has rare earths. It has silver, it has zinc, it has lead. And with global warming, the Arctic changes everything. Two routes become strategic: the Northern Sea Route, the Northwest Passage. They shorten routes between Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Less time, lower cost, more control. This also disrupts Russia without firing a single shot. When time is short, ethics become a secondary variable. The United States will use available resources, unavailable resources, and contested resources. They will take from those willing to sell, send from those who are not. Is all of this about creating a GI before China? No, a GI is not the end. It is the bridge. The real objective is something else: immortality. But not for everyone. It is not a collective project. It is a private one. If immortality arrives, it will be an asset, and like every scarce asset, it will be concentrated. The world is not being reorganized so that everyone can live longer. It is being reorganized so that some do not die.